Brothers and sisters, what is up? Welcome back to yet another one from us. We are coming to you with news from Sierra Leone. It's been long since we reported news from that country.
Sierra Leone in Burkina.
Yeah, Sierra Leone. Well, the focus is on Sierra Leone, but this time around, as always, they are in Burkina Faso, in one of our AES countries. And what is happening there will shock you. Well, the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, arrived in Ouagadougou for a state visit. His country, Sierra Leone, holds the rotating presidency of the UN Security Council. He met with Captain Ibrahim Traore on Wednesday to discuss, what was the date on Wednesday?
That was 7th.
Around the 7th.
7th August.
All right, to discuss the security situation in Burkina Faso and the Sahel. What security situation? According to the president, the discussions have now given him first-hand information to better understand the situation in Burkina Faso and the Sahel, which is marked by terrorism that is undermining peace in the sub-region. To him, this visit would allow him to present the situation in Burkina Faso and the Sahel to the United Nations in their 79th Annual General Assembly, scheduled for September 10th to 24th.
But these things are usually just a smoke screen. Because we know, like last year, Mali chased out the UN military force. And why did they do that? Because they were not helping them at all.
Yeah.
They are even better off. Because after these people left, Mali was able to take over Kidal, Timbuktu, and many other places. And now they are at the border with Algeria now, Tinzawatene. But before then, they could not have managed to do that. Now, this guy is coming to... Okay, the wife spoke very well in some interview, remember? Beautifully. We loved her. The video is on our YouTube channel.
Just explaining why Africa is continuing, is
but
exploited and how
now,
it cannot get up.
Look at her husband. He's representing the UNSC. Maybe he has good intentions and maybe you go with
and
whatever
represent,
and represent what he has learned from President Ibrahim Traore. But the question is, will it help in any way or it's just a formality?
The other day, was it last year's UN, this General Assemblies and all this nonsense?
Yeah, it was last year.
The AES was kicked out of this. They were not even allowed to go and speak. And I remember Guinea, was it Guinea that represented...
Guinea, the president of Guinea.
You know, that represented these countries.
Yeah.
And now you are coming in to listen in and go and present on their behalf. Why can't you let them go and speak for themselves?
And the good thing about now I think Burkina Faso sent a prime minister. And these people were talking about...
Is it Mali that was denied?
It was Niger.
Niger.
Yeah. And the one thing that they kept on talking about was France. And saying, we know you guys are funding the terrorists. Because we don't make guns in Africa.
No.
But who is bringing those guns to Africa? And it's known across the world, all over the world. And that's what has brought in, we don't want your embassy, we don't want your military, we don't want
anything to do with it.
We don't want anything to do with the West. But now comes this formality of Julius Maada Bio, and I don't think it's in any way going to help Africa in any way. So Africa needs its own military, its own, government.
No, the AES is paving the way for that. So hopefully they'll give us an example of what Africa can really be if we unite against these people. Because as long as we still want to be associated with these UNs, these ECOWAS, these EUs, we will never go anywhere as Africa.
Yeah, and it's sick and crazy because today I was looking at a post by one of those nominated AUC chair from Kenya, Raila Odinga. And people are hoping we'll have this one from Kenya who is being pushed by the government. And people are saying, we think it's the Djibouti. And most Kenyans don't want him to be the president of the AUC. And today, Raila Odinga had a meeting. He met the EU ambassador to Kenya, Henriette Gija, to discuss reforms in the AU. He's a nominator. He's he's a candidate amongst four.
Proposed.
Yeah. and he was meeting with the EU chairperson
As who?
to speak about reforms in EU.
Have they already given him the position?
No, they are voting next year, I think February 25th.
So it means that he knows something that we don't know.
Number one, the biggest chunk of funding that comes to the EU comes from the EU.
Yeah.
Like the biggest funder. Actually, we have two funders, the EU and the UN. The biggest one comes from the EU. So definitely this guy is
This guy has won.
He is almost 80, he's 79, and he will be the next AU chairperson.
From what we are saying.
AU puppet of
And
the
that
EU.
is the problem that we have. Now look at President Bayo, because he's the president of the UNCS, UNSC.
Is representing UNSC in Africa.
Yeah.
Now
that position to him makes him feel like he has all the powers. When the powers lies within these 5 countries that hold the veto power in this UN Security Council, you are just there to be, for Africa to be excited that, well, we have our own there. We have, President Bayo. It's going to be me next year. It's going to be our country next year. We are way past these things. Actually, we are way past tribal politics. We are way past this. Oh, we have an African president in that seat. We have a black president. We are way past all of that nonsense. And these people should be.
I think the Americans still think Kamala is black.
Yeah, and now that's where they lose it, because first female president, first female black president, first. We are way past those politics. We want things to work.
We want someone who's working in.
Exactly. Whether it's whatever, as long as it's going to work.
Even if he's a dog or a man.
We work for us. Make sure that our minerals remain in our soil. Make sure that we benefit from everything that is from our continent.
Be sure that we are not getting EU reforms from Raila Odinga. That is one. Another thing, be sure that the UNSC will not help Africa, because the UN just works for the UN.
I wonder what this guy is going to say, Bayo, on the 10th.
Yeah. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment section. We are excited to see your comments on this issue of the UNSC, the AU, the puppet organizations of Africa. If you'd like to support us, we have Buy Me a Coffee link in the description, and also super chats and super thanks. You are welcome to assist us or gift us in any of those ways. We see you in the next one. Bye bye.